What is life asking of you right now? Greetings, dear one. I'm Zach Hansen of Consciously Awesome. And in this moment, I'm going to talk about that. What is life asking of you and asking of me right now? And in order to answer this question, I'm going to reach out into a story. And this story is of one of the greatest teachers has ever walked this earth. And I will be reading here a little bit of the story. It's not the complete story. And this is what I will be reading is from Gene Houston's book called Jump Time. This is not Gene's story. This is the story of the Peacemaker. And the Peacemaker is from the Haudenosaunee. And he is, like I said, one of the greatest teachers that ever walked this land. Maybe you've heard of him. Maybe you haven't. This little slice of the story starts with the Peacemaker as he's making his journey through what is known now as the state of New York in Canada. So the Peacemaker took his message to the Mohawks. The Mohawk people found themselves much taken by the idea of good news, high peace, and the longhouse of extended community with the new mind governing it. However, the Mohawk chiefs were suspicious. And after all, the people's well-beings lay in their hands, and one cannot just lay down the arms and declare peace, or so they argued. It's not just us. It's not just us, they cried. We could do it, but our neighbors couldn't. We could not dare to begin such a thing when our neighbors continue to attack us. To be the first to lay down arms and announce policies of peace is a troubling act, especially in a world rife with justified paranoia. Most especially, this is true for if you are responsible for the safety and welfare of your people. And the story continues. The Mohawk chiefs challenged the Peacemaker. We need some sign, some act that will prove you are not an enemy agent come to divide us or to destroy us, to make us weak and peaceful, so that your warriors can sack us. Nearby was a deformed, twisted oak growing over the edge of a waterfall. They say, climb into the tree that leans over the falls. We will cut the tree down, and you will fall with it. If you are still alive in the morning, we will become part of the great peace. The Peacemaker climbed into the ancient oak, and the people began chopping the tree with their hatchets. The Peacemaker wrapped his legs around a branch, leaned down, and began to help hacking the tree down with his own hatchet. A strong rain began to fall. The Mohawks stood back, amazed, as the Peacemaker, with savage fury, attacked the tree, which he named the Tree of War. The Peacemaker said, "It is I who have said that the twisted tree of war must be cut from your lives. It is I who have cut away this tree and fall with it into the gorge. No man should ever be afraid to cut falsehood from his life, even if it is the very thing upon which he is standing. For to stand upon a lie is to destroy the future peace and joy. There is no value to living in falsehood if falsehoods are your roots." When only a few hacks were needed to fell the tree completely, the Peacemaker stood in the branches and looked down at now respectful faces of the Mohawks. The rain had ceased, and an extraordinary rainbow arched across the sky. The Peacemaker pointed to the sky and spoke of the many circles, the sacred hoops in nature, the cycling of the sun and the moon, the cycling of the seasons, the circles of our lives, and sacred hoops of the nations. Then he pointed to the rainbow and said, "Each tribe is like one of those colors you see before you. Do you see where the colors touch and intermingle? This is trade between the tribes that live in peace, where people honor the higher way, beautiful colors come into being, and there is plenty for all. The rainbow is a half circle that we must complete in our hearts, except for self-defense. There is no place for violence in a heart that honors the teaching of the Great Spirit. Remove such error from your lives as I now sever the tree from its false roots." And I'm going to stop there. As the story continues, the tree falls over and the Mohawks find him alive the next morning. So I share this with you as we are in the times that we are in. And what is life asking of you and of me? And I love this passage, this story. And again, this particular version that I read was from Gene Houston, right? It's not from the Haudenosaunee. You may know them as the Iroquois, which is the Dutch name for the people of the Longhouse that were here before the Europeans showed up. And in this story, he demonstrates cutting out the falsehoods and the lies, even if he is standing on it. This is so important right now because this is what life is asking us to do. Life is asking us to go within ourselves and look at all of the falsehoods that we carry within ourselves. And I'm going to give you, from my perspective, one of these falsehoods that is a collective falsehood is the United States government. It was born on a lie. It was born in genocide and so much more atrocities. And now we are seeing that those lies have consequences as it starts to unravel. And it is uncomfortable for the entire world because of the lies and falsehoods that it was built on. Because when it was created, the Constitution in the United States said all men were equal, but yet all men were not equal at the time. We had slavery. Black people and Indians were not considered human beings by the people who wrote that Constitution. Women were not allowed to have any rights or ownership. All men were not created equal. There are many more incongruencies in these falsehoods, but I'm just going to leave it at that as just an example. This isn't a political statement. This is what is so. And so there is a greater lie even. And this lie, I couldn't even tell you how long ago it started because it's been here on this planet for so long. And it's the greatest lie that has ever been told. And the greatest lie that has ever been told is that you are separate from your creator. That the creator is somewhere outside of yourself. For this is not true. The creator is with you and is with all things and all beings, because the creator is everything. The source, the universe, God, goddess, whatever word fits best for you, that is all things. That is all there is. And it is not separate from anything. All traditions teach that it is an omnipresent source of all life, everywhere. How can something be everywhere and not within ourselves? So this is the greatest lie that was ever told that keeps us in separation theology. Separation theology is translated into the religion of separation. The religion of separation, right? The things that keep us separate from ourselves, that keep us bound in isolation, and that isolation then leads to war ultimately, because we think we're separate from those people who we are killing. And this is not true. So this is where we're at in today's world, and this is the message for today, for this moment, is what falsehoods do you carry within you of separation? What falsehoods do you carry within you of separation? What belief systems, what thoughts do you have that keep you separate from the world around you, that keep you separate from nature, that keeps you separate from the animals, that keeps you separate from the wind, the fire, the earth, and the water, separate from all your brothers and sisters, and more importantly, separate from your spiritual self, right? Your true self, the truest essence that is immortal and that will last forever. What are the thoughts and the belief systems that you have keeping you separate? I love this story, whether it was a myth or real. It has a lot of substance because the peacemaker stands upon a tree, right? And so a tree is a metaphor of a belief system because it takes root in the mind and it grows bigger, right? And then we act on those belief systems. Belief systems dictate your behavior. Belief systems are not real. They are malleable. They are changeable. They're important because they dictate how we act, but they are not real. And this is why we see different belief systems across different cultures and people and things and so forth. So it's very important to examine these things within ourselves and really be true to ourselves, because we cannot lie. We cannot hide from ourselves. We cannot hide from the Creator. The Creator knows everything. And so if we are living in falsehood, we are destroying our future joy and eventually our life, our livelihood, as we begin to numb and check out and feel all of the pain and discomfort of living a lie. That is the message of today. That is the message of this moment. This is the message of life and what it is asking us to do today, to wake up and wake up to what I would say, wake up to the fact that we are all connected. It is obvious to so many people now how connected we are. And there are the polarity shift. There's like one side that's like, nah, we're not connected. And the other side's like, yeah, it's pretty obvious to us, right? I can surmise you're probably the people who understand that we're connected and everything flows together and works together and is designed to be in harmony if we follow the good way and we follow a life that isn't full of falsehoods. But our society is, modern society in America, I'll say, is designed to keep the falsehoods going. That's how people profit. And it's not healthy. As we're seeing, as all of our institutions, religion is dying. Our financial system is crumbling. It's been crumbling for a long time. There's cracks in our government, so on and so forth. Our education system, I could go on, our healthcare system, the pharmaceutical companies, blah, blah, blah. All these falsehoods are coming to light. And as these layers are coming up, there's also gold there. There's treasure there. There's treasure to be had. So we can glisten and embody knowledge and wisdom to make things harmonious again, put things in a coherent state again that aren't built on falsehoods. So that is today's message. Where in your life are you carrying falsehoods about your beliefs about your Creator, about the world around you, about yourself, about the people around you? Where did these come from? Where did these ideas come from? Right? They may serve you, they may not. Do they serve separation, or do they serve to unify? Right, these are the things that we must go inside and ask for ourselves as we see the cracks in reality, the cracks in the institutions, and all of those good things that keep us afloat, that were all built on lies. And now our joy and livelihood is suffering because of it. So, that is what I have for you today to think about, to be about, if you so choose. There's no judgment either way. I mentioned I had a video a couple months ago about burning it all down, the separation with inside the self, the false illusions of self with inside us. I'll link that in the video below if you're looking for a hand so you don't have to walk this path alone, as perhaps maybe your reality crumbles inside as these falsehoods dissolve into something beautiful, something more nutrient dense for the spirit, for the being, for the personhood, for the rest of the brothers and sisters to feel and experience. We're here for you. Links in the channel or in the description below. And with that, I give thanks for you watching today.